Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MWO competitive season 2023 kickoff. Essentially, not kickoff for the queue. No, this is kickoff for the Invitationals. This is our knockout round to decide who the top four are going to be jockeying for position in that vaunted top 12 spot, which means the top 8 will be taken from the queue. Starting off, we're going to be starting with Castarian Guards versus Equilibrium. Oh, there's Equilibrium. All right, cool. So just a quick chat. 1 second, let me let the folks know. All right, just to let folks know what's happening here, this is going to be a best of 3 with map ban, so we're going to get that going in shortly here. This is all Conquest. The maps for this one are Crimson Strait, Hibernal Rift, Polar Highlands, the Mining Collective, and Vitrix Station. Those are our maps that will be happening for the competitive season this year. We will also, and as I said, the invitational teams are being pulled out of the queue, and that is what we are watching right now. We're going to get everything going. Oh goodness, let's not do that. All right. Getting the chat up. All right, excellent. So we're going to start here in a couple minutes. With me is Therax. Sorry for the scattered intro. With me is Therax.
Yeah, it's Therax. Hey, I'm streaming over on MWO Leagues 2, so if you want to watch from my perspective, we can do that. Ivor's got the main channel over on MWO Leagues 1 for anyone who wants to get that angle.
Indeed. Yeah, so let's see. What are we gonna? Well, we don't know which map we're gonna start with, so ignore that map that is over there on my screen. We're not there yet. We're gonna sort it out. Because Casterian Guards coming in. What was their record for the seasons?
I was trying to pull that information up here. Casterian Guards had a well, I'm not actually seeing them playing in ISC at all. There they are, Division C. They had a third place finish in Division C of Inner Sphere Coalition Season 5, which was the first tournament of the league. That will not have given them any points toward the Invitational. Where they got their Invitational points would be from later leagues. They had a Division B in Blood League Season 2 where they finished 4th. That also would not have given any points, I don't believe, for the Invitational. So they got in through Tournament of Stars, where they finished first in Division B. So they're a low seed in the Invitational. They're going up against the top seed here, Equilibrium. Casterian Guards is the 8th seed. So they have a very uphill battle here, but they have shown improvement throughout the year, you know, going from Division C in the first league to Division B, mediocre finish for the second league, and then winning Division B in the third league that led into the CS23 Worlds upcoming here. So we'll see whether they can pull off the upset. It would definitely be an upset if they managed to win today, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a heck of a knockout. Honestly, EQ, one of the best, in the seasons here since picking up. I think with CS last year is when they came around, or newish team, but so. A whole host of hard hitters here with G-Ram, Ghosty, Nate, Polycat. Like every single person on here is a hitter.
Well, I mean, Equilibrium running down through their tournament, they finished first place in ISC Season 5. Then they went on to finish in third place of Blood League Season 2. Again, Division A. They're playing Division A throughout the entire time here. And then they went ahead and they won Tournament of Stars Season 2. So, 2 wins in Division A and a third place in Division A versus a team that was playing Division C, Division B, and then won Division B. So that's not... I mean, these teams haven't really... I don't know if these teams have actually faced each other in a competitive league before.
No, I think that's probably unlikely. So this will be an interesting matchup. Sorry, just getting some stuff up here.
Yeah, I'm doing a bit in the background. Yeah, so Equilibrium, I mean, names are pretty familiar. It's some former competitive players from various different teams, and then they're current competitive players, but they've played with other teams in the past. Very familiar names, some new up-and-coming players as well. They've been recruiting and training talent as well. Whereas Casterian Guards, they are Eastern European team. I'm not as familiar with them, just from where they came from. I don't play on the European server a whole lot. I'm not entirely sure where this team came from competitively. I know some of them are veteran competitive players, probably were playing with something like RJF in the past. I don't believe RJF is going to be participating in World Championships, I don't think. It's my understanding. So Casterian Guards is kind of flying that Russian language team here. they've got competitive experience. They've shown an ability to win, but it's going to be a very difficult fight for them today.
All right, we're gonna start off with our match selection here.
Okay, so we need to flip over to.
Yep, switching over to the map screen, and I am going to keep an eye on what we're looking at here.
For those that are unaware of how this works, we're doing a map ban here, where each team is picking out maps they do not want to play and maps that they do want to play. So there will be. This is a best of 3 today, I believe.
Yes, and they are selecting maps in order here. So it looks like we've got Vitric coming up
These
first.
are maps that they are not wanting to play, right?
No, these are maps that they do want to play.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Equilibrium has selected to play Vitric Station. That would be the first map played.
Yes, that will be the first map played. Sides to be chosen later. So the way that this is going to work, they're going to alternate choosing sides. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, or rather choosing maps 1, 2, 3, 4, and then whatever's left will be the fifth map. And then team 2. So Casterian guards will choose sides. All right, what do we end up with there? That is Crimson.
Crimson Strait as map 2, and Hibernal Rift as the third map.
All right, here we go. So we've got then Mining Collective and finishing with Polar. All right, teams will now choose sides.
5?
Is the best of 5.
Okay, so there is the possibility of all 5 maps being played.
Yes.
Well, there we go.
All right, I got to make things larger for myself to see here. All right, so it looks like Equilibrium is going to be team 2. All right, and with Crimson, Equilibrium 1. All right, again, we have a team 2 selection. Or rather, Casterian choosing team 1 for Hibernal there. And Collective, keeping the same side. Or no. Yes, Equilibrium team 2. Sorry, first time trying to read this, folks. Thank you for your patience. And then Polar Highlands.
I haven't personally been involved in the map ban phase before.
Yes, so this will be entertaining. All right, so map ban is complete. We're gonna head back on over to our lobby screen temporarily before we go and chat about the match.
I guess we should run through the format here for the tournament.
Yes.
It is 8v8, and it's Conquest. All 5 caps are active for anyone who's wondering here. So Conquest 8v8. So we've got more than 8 players in the lobby currently for some of these teams. There are up to 12 players on the roster, but only 8 players are going to be in the match for each team. And so there's a weight class and a tonnage component to the rule set here. And I want to make sure I get that right. I believe they can go up to 3 mechs of a chassis. So
yes,
they can have
three
up to 3
mechs of
lights
each one,
or up to 3 assaults, but they cannot have 4 lights, for instance. And the tonnage limit, I remember it's relatively high. I'm trying to actually look that up right now. I don't want to get it wrong.
It is 480, pretty sure.
480. That sounds correct to me.
All right, let me
I'm actually trying to find it here, but I don't have it in front of me.
Yes, it is 480 tons. Wanted to confirm that before I said a hard yes. That's why we have our documentation.
Yeah, I've got the quick reference open here, but it doesn't actually have the tonnage on it. So, whoops.
So yeah, we will find some interesting mix-ups. Usually there's a question of how big is your wolf pack going to be? Is it going to be 3 or 4? And that can really decide a game right there. And actually, let's talk about Vitric Station. I'm going to switch on over to
the map scene.
my map room here. Where's that? Oh, map.
Okay,
All right,
room.
yeah. So we are looking here at Vitric Station. Let me clear some of that out. Yeah, we've got basically this should be a top fight. Just saying, like,
yes.
you know, we've got from Team 2 side, you're going to see folks coming up here and fighting on the top.
Now, saying that it's a top fight, I don't think that necessarily means that teams are both going to play toward the Theta ridges here at the ramps. I don't think they're going to push up the ramps. That's not what I'm anticipating. I think that at least Equilibrium is going to be playing a range game. They're going to be sitting out on the sides, I do believe, with a couple of their range assaults.
Yep.
And then putting some others on the top. But definitely, this is a map that has a definitive top and bottom level. And yes, the caps are on the bottom level. You do have to send a light down to get Theta, but you definitely want to be playing on the upper portion of the map as much as possible if you're doing range play. And if you're bringing Brawl, you need to anticipate your opponent's going to be playing range up top and bring jump jets. If you're brawling, absolutely 100% jump jets.
Yes. And it's one of those map, if one person drops, you all got to drop. You have to be doing, because you can't be getting caught out in those sort of, you know, 6v5 fights and whatnot. But I do agree with you. I'm just marking up the map here with some items on some of those positions, roughly. You know, you're going to see some traders out here on the sides. And in the
traders
back.
like Direwolves or Night Gears, Marauder 2s, that type of thing, off on the sides, just as an anchor mech, and then having maybe some more mobile range mechs on the top, I would expect. If teams elect to brawl, I mean, the Crusader is a very strong mech. In any tonnage league, I think the Crusader is basically an auto-include in your drop deck at this point in time. And Crusaders can be more of the brawl build, depending what you put on it. But I would not expect both of the teams to be electing to play brawl today.
No, so, I would expect traders. Castarian guards might try to pull a brawl, but we'll see how that turns out. Versus a skill trade team, a brawl is going to be problematic, of course. So we will, especially if they're holding the top as they should. So we'll see how that works out.
I think they might attempt to go for a brawl here, though, because when you think that you're outskilled by your opponent and you're not going to win them in a trade war, and you know, we're facing a situation here between a first seed and an 8th seed. If you don't think you can out-trade your opponent, you got to try something else, and that something else is going to be brawl.
Yep.
And if you do the homework, you find the pathing routes, maybe you just manage to pull it off. And you only need a couple map wins here. You know, you have a couple chances at it. I would be a little bit disappointed if Castarian's guards just tried to do a straight range trade against Equilibrium here, just because of my perceived difference in terms of these teams' skill levels. I don't think Castarian guards is going to succeed at doing range trading. They might still try it. Maybe they'll surprise us, but I hope they've prepared something else, some sort of trying to just catch Equilibrium off guard. A brawl strat, or you know, even an LRM strat on one of these maps. I don't think Vitric Station's the one you'd pull it off on, but just to try and find a win where you're not comparing, you know, ability to click heads at 800 meters.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see. The I think that is gonna have to be Castarian guards approach here. They have to start using unconventional things. There we go. We are actually locked. All right. We've said about all we can here. We will be taking more time to discuss the way things go going forward. Reminder, catch Therax's view on MWO Leagues 2, and we're gonna go ahead, and we are at time. So we are in fact going to launch. All right, here we go. The first map in the Invitational knockout round, and the first match ever of Competitive Series 2023.
Starting up the worlds here with the Invitational. And Ivor is over on the main MWO Leagues channel. I'm on the secondary. So if you don't like what you're seeing on the one, you can check out the other. Or you can try and watch both camera angles. Maybe we can do a little bit of, you spectate Team 1's trade angles. I spectate Team 2's trade angles, that type of thing.
Yeah, actually, let's divide it up that way. I'll keep an eye on Team 1. Might be the way to go. And this is a little bit of an experiment. I don't know that this has been done before, so bear with us, and we would love to see your feedback. Also a reminder, it is a 7-minute delay now. It is not a 5-minute delay any longer. So if you have instant feedback, we're not going to see that. All right, so I'm over here with Equilibrium looking at a Mistlynx, a Kodiak, a Kit Fox, a Mad Cat, a Crusader, Arctic Cheetah, no, Arctic Wolf, he's some crow, Viper, and a Highlander. Let's take a look. Med Pulse, small lasers on the Arctic Wolf, so a bit of a the Crusader. Jeez, all right, so we've got machine guns with some heavy mediums on the Viper, so that one's going to take more of a higher position. Let's see, we've got a bunch of machine guns on Chicken Man's Mistlynx, a mix of them, which is not something you typically see. Let's see what the Kit Fox is running here real quick. SRM Bomber, Kit Fox, and their traders. We've got Gauss Large Pulse, Gauss Vomit on GRAM, Basalt with the 4 AC-10 and single ERPPC, and LB-20, a few Large Pulse and SRMs on the Highlander. Sorry, that took me a hot minute. Let's talk about Casterian Guards.
Yeah, Casterian Guards is bringing a whole bunch of PPC, PPCs, light PPCs, that type of stuff, but they've backed it up with a lot of SRMs and some red lasers. So Executioner, 2 ERPPCs with 6 small pulse, 4 ER micro, Quick Draw with 2 ERPPC, 3 SRM 6, very much a bracket build. Crusader is ERPPC and 12 small lasers, also a standard bracket build there. The Huntsman, ERPPC, small pulse. Timberwolf is a kitchen sink build with ERPPC, SRM 6, heavy smalls, and clan machine gun. Timberwolf Prime there, that'd be a machine gun in the center torso. I've seen them use that to effect in the past. It does look very kitchen sinky, but it's worked for them.
Right.
Light PPC and SRM on the Huntsman, and sorry, not Huntsman, Hellspawn. And then the Shadowhawk is going to be running stumped PPC, stumped nose PPC, and SRMs, and then the Firestarter over here harassing the flank, which is taking a little bit of early damage, is light PPC, small laser. Now there's a push here.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's get into the action here. Equilibrium taking a push against Rage Trade. Enova dropping. I'm not sure what happened to that Crusader, but it happened fast.
Basalt's open center torso, Kodiak 3 about to go down.
Stereo going down, Jinto going down.
This is going fast.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we are 1 to, oh boy, it is 1 to 5 at the moment in favor of Equilibrium with this push. Casterian, just the focus fire here is incredible with EQ. They're just, what are they shooting on these things? Legs. All right, they're going legs, but their focus fire is so intense. It's just so fast. They started off down on that armor count, Mokor going down, and that's our final one. 1 kill here. On the part of, I think I got things swapped here because of that initial thing. Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. It is
not the teams I was expecting to be pushing here, but based off the builds that they brought, the ERPPCs were forcing them into a push situation. Equilibrium did need to make that move, and they pulled it off quite successfully.
Oh yeah, it was looking a little rocky at start, but they just really turned it around. All right, let me log some stats here real quick.
I did not set up a scoreboard scene. That's what I forgot.
That's all right. I got you. It'll be over at Leagues 1 here momentarily. Yeah, so sorry about some of the snafus there, guys. We got a lot going on. Match switching will be cleaned up here.
Yeah, so MWO Leagues 1, are you going to have the components destroyed and damaged?
Yes, I am swapping that over now. I just had to wait for it to load.
All good. Today.
All good. Yep. There we Yes, there are the scores. If you want to go down those, I'll get things set up here because we are swapping sides yet again.
Looking at the damage totals, Equilibrium coming out ahead with top damage there from GRAM and the Mad Cat with 500. Everyone else on the team is 300 damage or less. So actually not much damage on their team total, but you know, nobody really had outstanding damage. I mean, 500 as the top damage in an 8v8 is not that high, relatively speaking here.
All right. So I'm going to get these teams started. We are going to use the whole 10 minutes here to chat about, let's talk about what happened there. Just real quick, going to scoot on over to our room. So basically we did see a bit what we expected. So Castarian guards on the team 1 side. Oh, hang on. I need to actually start that timer there. All right. So Castarian guards on the team 1 side held back. Actually, I think they spotted that push relatively quickly, and like we did say, they did. I'm going to set myself up in green here. They did throw a couple of people out on the wings here just to try to deal with some stuff. Now, Equilibrium coming in where it looked like they were actually taking a lot of damage. 3 of their mechs were down somewhere around 80% as they made their approach, particularly the big one. So Castarian guards actually trading fairly well. I suspect if they had maybe a little more focus fire on that, which is difficult to do at some ranges if you're expecting a mid-range fight, which it seemed like they did a bit. So they're doing their best there. And then coming up to Theta. Now, a couple of the Equilibrium mechs did drop, actually. We saw right before their push. So we had a couple of mechs going up each of the ramps here. And 3 mechs coming down from the bottom as well up those ramps. So really just spreading out that push, giving it lots of targets to choose from for Castarian guards. And also here is sort of the absolute key on that is that Equilibrium's focus fire on the legs. It seemed it was so quick. We really didn't have much time to talk about it once that push started. It was just bam, 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 mechs down so quickly so impressively. It was the focus fire was incredible there.
Yeah, very, very well done from Equilibrium there on just focusing the fire. The kills very quick there, as you were saying. One thing that I'm gonna pull up the map strat here a little bit, and one thing I'm gonna point out is that not Equilibrium. Castarian's guards, they were using the side ramp a little bit out of Delta 3 with the Firestarter and I believe the Shadowhawk were kind of coming up that ramp from behind while Equilibrium was making their push over the ramps. So they had a little bit of harassment in the back, but they kind of just ignored that Firestarter, which it's got 2 light BPCs and I think it was 5 small lasers or maybe 6. If you're getting rear shots, you can kind of put in a little bit of damage there. But if everybody's just continuing to push past you and killing your bigger mechs faster, I guess there just isn't enough DPS on that Firestarter to really force the turn. But not the team I was expecting to bring the push there out of Equilibrium. So I'm wondering if they're going to keep that aggression up going forward into these other maps. Our next map up is going to be Crimson Strait. Is it, if I've got that correct?
Yep. Yeah, let's shift into chatting about that. Where is this? Crimson Strait. Here we go. So we've got Equilibrium up here on the top by Epsilon, and we've got Castarian guards down here by Team 2. Hang on, did it not switch?
Well, we've got Equilibrium on Team 1 from what I've got showing, right?
There it is. Okay.
There we go.
Sorry, I was just checking up on the screen and I'm like, I swear to God, I switched that overlay. Caught it a little bit late, but I did catch it. It's interesting that it took so long to switch. But in any case.
Yeah, so Castarian guards, again, going to be playing out of the red team here. So we saw this map being played in the 3v3 format for Inner Sphere Coalition, was it? And very much it was about island domination, where the teams were just going to push over to the island. I mean, sometimes both teams are pushing the island and kind of just brawling on the island because the Kappa cap is so far off to the side that teams were kind of electing to sometimes ignore it. Now in the 5v5, Theta decreases in importance even more, and with both teams spawning near the island, and all 4 caps are kind of within range of the island there, I'm not sure what are we going to see anyone even attempting to go for Theta, or is that something that these teams are going to be playing more of an aggressive style, fighting over the other 4 caps and just kind of ignoring Theta? So for Team 2, I think your key positions, if you're ignoring the island, you definitely have to go saddle and bring your range traders up onto saddle and kind of play Sigma, Kappa, and Theta as your 3 caps. But it's a very small area on the platform in saddle to put all your traders up there. So I think you definitely have to consider, island, or you can put in extreme range traders behind Kappa. But with 8 mechs available, I don't know if there's really enough room on the map to just be ignoring the island. From Team 1's perspective, they maybe have a little bit more options in terms of trade locations, either the rocks over along the waterline, Delta 3, Delta 4, or playing on the in the rear of, like, what do you call that, High City, Charlie 5, kind of shooting over across Gamma. But Team 1 doesn't have as easy access to the platform. So I think that gives more emphasis on importance to the island for equilibrium here.
Yeah, I would largely agree. And we'll see where the Wolfpack ends up going, right? Because we will see Theta play. We have to. That is the third point there. So we're going to send some lights out to Theta. I don't know how much coverage we're going to get. Maybe 1 coverage in the saddle from Team 2.
I don't know if anyone's going to play, like, if you play aggressive, you can ignore Theta and just, like, take your 4-pack of lights and the rest of your team and just ball up and push, or play aggressive trade positions as well with harassment from your Wolfpack. I mean, if the Theta is so far out there that if Team 2 sends a mech over saddle to go to Theta, the second they step on Theta, you start pushing, that's going to be like a minute and a half before that light mech can get back to help at the island. As fast as lights are, that is a bunch of grids to get moving. And same goes for Team 2. If Team 1 sends their lights behind the mountain to go for Theta, they're not getting scouting intel from them. There's a possibility that if you send too many mechs to Theta, you don't have them in the main fight. If you get brawl pushed, you could end up losing before your lights get back. And if you don't send enough mechs to Theta, then you could end up getting jumped without any support from your range mechs. If your range mechs are set anywhere other than in the saddle, they're not able to help at Theta. So, but what we've seen here in the past, in Intersphere Coalition, it was a 3-cap format, 6v6, Intersphere mechs only, or I don't believe this map was played Tournament Stars, but even in Blood League, the 7v7 format, I don't know if what we saw in the past with Crimson Strait are the strats that we're going to be seeing in a 8v8 5-cap format like the World Championships.
All right, Derek, I hate to cut you off there, but we are going to log here. We're at our time.
We're getting in there.
But yes, so we will switch over to match overlay for me. Correct or mistake corrected. Yes. Yeah. Here we go. And to your point, it is the balance of that wolf pack. I think that is going to make the difference here and how they play. If you do decide to brawl, you're right, you can ignore Theta, but if your brawl takes a minute, you're going to be in trouble there if the other team does take it and manage to get like their flea back or something particularly quick. But we'll see. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a cap spider here, just to take Theta and get off it in like the 2 seconds, because some of them are really powerful. Like the single snub,
I don't know,
kind of a spider with that cooldown quirks are insane.
Cap spider, I mean, maybe I've got a misread on the meta, but I don't know. I mean, we've seen it in past World Championships, but having one mech dedicated to capping without fighting is a risky strategy.
Oh, well, I mean, it could still fight is the thing with those snubs. But in any case, here we go. Looking at SRM Commando, that's probably going to be our cap mech there. We've got a Viper And just trying to do it here, a Shadow Cat here. What's on that Shadow Cat? Curiosity. A lot of people have been doing Peeps, Micropulse, and a machine gun here for GRAM. Where'd the rest of my mechs go? All right, we've got our Skull here. All right, moving for speed. Again, we're looking at PPCs and an LB20. So it looks like we've got a lot of traders coming here from Equilibrium. These are particularly dark on my end for some reason. There we go. All right, here we go. Nate and the Viper.
Castellan Guards also brought a lot of trade. ER Large, Blood Asp, Goss, ER Large, Direwolf. They've got a Flea headed over to Theta right now. The Skull was for LPL, so that's more mid-range. The Timberwolf was that ERPPC kitchen sink build again. So there's a fair bit of range trade here from Castellan Guards, but some of them are more of a mid-range deck. And with that Ryan 2C having the LPLs and the mask, it is a very mobile mech.
Oh yeah,
so they definitely can be making a move here now.
We're looking at
stepping on the cap.
Yeah, and we're looking at Equilibrium over here, taking the island at this point. They started initial trades at the Epsilon point. They're now moving over onto the island, taking that and taking over actually quite a lot of ground, uncontested at that point, as it looks like Castellan Guard is setting up around the saddle to protect Theta there, or try to snag Theta, as the case may be. Now, what are we looking at? Their Rancor is tucked up in the hills here. What is Old House who trying to do
large
here?
On that Rancor, Blood Asp, it has a range quirk, so that's a very good shooting position up there. You can command a lot of the map. Yeah. The Direwolf's playing low ground in front of the cap here, taking a little bit of incoming damage, but their flank is guarded by a single Wolfhound. So the Wolfhound is medium pulse, is kind of maybe sitting in a bit of an ambush location there, but the rest of the team is not really there with that Blood Asp Direwolf. At the moment, because they were securing Theta. Now they're coming back.
Old Hasu, got to take a look at that. It looks like he got nearly opened up. Let's see if we can get there. No, opened up on the side, taking a lot of fire, basically trading alone against the couple traders from Equilibrium.
And Direwolf is open on the side torso from Castellan. He's about to lose a side torso here. Blood Asp has been halved down to 2 ER large, having to abandon their position. These trades are not going well.
No, rest of Equilibrium team, the Wolfpack is moving over to the Sigma point here. Looks like they may have, there goes Old Hazu in that Blood Asp. Looks like they're gonna try to chase down Dered here, maybe, or at least try to threaten this flank and flush some more folks for their traders who are just throwing out power trades here. I'm just looking at the constant blue lasers going pretty much one direction. Asterion and that Direwolf got to be open here. Yep, that side torso ready to go, as you mentioned before.
Castellan's now getting the rest of their team back from the saddle. They're looking to support, but the percentages on the Direwolf, 50%. Lost the side torso down to single ER large, so that was a right stack to Direwolf. I know that some of the competitive players started to remove that right stack there in favor of a more balanced position for the Gauss rifles, just to protect against this particular situation occurring. That Direwolf is also open center torso. Their team's gotta, I don't know, make some room here for the receive, and just kind of
there's not much
to die.
Yeah, there's not much room to receive here is the thing, and Equilibrium taking advantage of that and just corralling them into a corner.
Looking to backstab, but that's a single fire starter. They're not going to get a whole lot done here.
No, and look, you can see this Equilibrium just absolutely corralling Castellan Guards into this corner here. They're all behind the same bit of cover here, no angles whatsoever. Meanwhile, we still got the traders on the island. Hang on, I'm going to take a quick jaunt out to the island here. We've got our single fire starter against the traders, but our Shadow Cat is doing just fine. Basalt pushing up in the night gear to get some more shots on the corral here.
Chinto's getting low percentage there. Already been halved. That was a light engine fire starter. Okay, so moving a little bit slower.
Yep. Let's see here. Chicken Man looking at, was that 51% there, 49%, still got all the weapons, a little open, gonna make it there, finally getting halved. There goes Tremzelestis.
Last one up is that Wolfhound, goes down center torso kill. Shine Plasma and the Commandos down at 34%, everything's open up on them, but no deaths on Equilibrium. Even Chickman managing to survive there.
Yep. Very well done by Equilibrium there, just corralling the other team. Look at the scoreboard up here momentarily as soon as it refreshes. There we go. All right, here's our scoreboard, looking at our damages real quick. Chicken Man with that 712 without Orion. Just absolutely farming.
ERPPC LBX 20.
Yep. And was just right in there slugging it with all the rest. Very well done. All right, real quick. Actually, if you want to chat about what happened here, I'm going to switch back to the map room on my side while I get these sides switched and everything.
Yeah. So basically, it was two mechs trying to trade from Caesarian guards against however many traders Equilibrium had, which would be more than two. And those trades were not going very well for the Direwolf and the Bloodass. 300 damage on the Direwolf. Bloodass put out 200 damage before going down, which is actually, considering the numbers, quite impressive. But it was too many mechs that were drawn over the saddle to try and support a Theta push, and ended up being kind of caught there. Let's pull up the map strat here. So that kind of, they tried trading, it didn't work out, and they didn't have the numbers in their trade commitment. So Equilibrium made a push to the island, had their initial trades, and then wrapped in with their side flankers against the more stationary Casterian Guard trade positions in Gulf 5 and just in front of Kappa. Mechs coming from the saddle, kind of a little bit too little too late for Casterian Guards. The trades had already been lost in that regard, and the Wolf Pack was able to get close in for Equilibrium there. So kind of just, I can't even say that they got outskilled in the range trades because the numbers weren't there. Just something like the clan LPLs from the school, they're not really able to properly trade from the saddle or the platform to the island. That range is more than clan LPL's optimal range by a significant margin. Like the Stalker parked in Echo 3 with a 6 ER large build, probably with a giant targeting computer as well. That will just outrange those clan LPLs. So, ERPPC's on the Timberwolf trying to, turn some heads, put some damage out, but the DPS is kind of a little bit slow when everybody's doing a full exposed trade, or even a push across the water. And that allowed Equilibrium to get their, they picked up kind of 2 kills early with the range trade and then just rolled in with the rest of their hit squad. And it was a tight quarters combat there in Kappa for Casterian Guards, but they also had a side flank trading into them from the saddle, which were being harassed a little bit by the Firestarter, but not enough to, the Firestarter on its own is not really enough of a force to drop mechs fast. You have to have a bigger wolf pack than that if you want to be rolling up a pair of assaults.
Yeah, I think the idea there was to essentially pull the traders off of the fight that was had, but quite frankly, it was too little, too late. In a lot of ways, their work was done.
2 mechs.
Yep. And the Wolfpack was cleaning up.
Yeah, and that was maybe a bait from Equilibrium sending just the commando to Theta. It drew so many mechs over the saddle, and then the main body made their move on the island. So